We're sticking with the energy sector. Let's talk about the state of the power sector. Yesterday, Transcorp Nigeria PLC came to the market, closed the market at 2:30 in the afternoon. Then our market correspondent, Tempo Ashaju, grabbed Emmanuel Hunoram, who is the group CEO of this company that operates the Ugeli Power Station, to talk to us about the state of the industry and what is going on down there, but also important about the expectation in terms of gas and in terms of what you and I pay for electricity. Let's listen for a few minutes.
It depends on where you have the shortfall coming from, and power. I want to say you have those that generate with gas, you have those that generate with hydro or from water, and so on and so forth. So it depends on really where the shortfall came from. For us at Transcorp Ugeli Power Limited, we are generating to the capacity of the gas that we have available, which is quite significant. And I want to say that things about generation, publications and so on, there are changes that could happen one moment, the next moment they are back again. A machine could be working today and then suddenly there's something trips off and is down. That means you won't have that particular output that moment. But another couple of hours, you bring this back again. So these things do happen, But I can't say exactly where the shortfall came from. But we are generating fully here.
Now, Ugeli Power Plant falls under the purview of Transcorp, and you have an output forecast of over 800 megawatts. How is your company faring in terms of meeting this output forecast? At
the moment, Transcorp Ugeli Power Limited, or what I'll call Transcorp Power, very soon, we are generating about 640 megawatts at the moment. We have 2 turbines that are on course in terms of being rehabilitated. Each of them is about 150 megawatts. So adding 230 megawatts to 640 will give you the 850 projection. And both of them are being handled by reputable companies, one by Thomason's, another one by GE. And these are not companies that cannot deliver. Well, on cost on delivering. We wanted to do before the end of the day. In fact, one should come online this September, or perhaps if there's any small delay, maybe early October. So, and then the other one will come up also. We have got also some turbines of 20 megawatts we're working on, but we don't have, these are not very significant amounts, in terms of the total. So, but these 2 major ones are the ones that will give us the 850. So, we're on course to meet that.
Is Transcorp still going ahead with the plans to separate and list some of its subsidiaries, like it listed successfully Transcorp Hotels last year?
Well, I want to say that Transcorp listed a hotel in the market and also have the power business. Like I said at the stock exchange, briefing today, we also have the agri business. We will list companies in the market as the need arises, and these are things that has to be approved by the board, and then of course you have the better. I agree with you that there is capital need by most generating companies because there are quite a lot of investments to make, and these are not things that are of short amount or maybe even for short term. These are long-term funds and so on. You need to get to be able to improve your output. We have also announced clearly to the market that we're on course for another 1,000 megawatts, which part of it may require some funding, but I think as we cross that stage, we will certainly come back to the market, to let them know our plans, and then, of course, the shareholders.
Now, the Consumer Protection Council plans to hold a consumer hearing with all the discos next week, Monday. What do you think are some of the quality service issues that these discos have when it comes to satisfying customers in the country?
I think we are a generating company, and that's where our job ends. We generate and sell to the market operator or the embed. Distribution companies are the ones that do the actual distribution, when they get it from the transmission company at the middle to the end users. What you're referring to is the discussion about by CPC with consumers and distribution companies. We don't have all that information of what the problems are, but I mean, you can also look at what is going on generally where we also live. There could be issues about metering, having a proper meter in place, or perhaps what some will call a pay-as-you-go type of meter, or perhaps maybe there are some local transmission issues with transformers and so on. But all of that, I think, is necessary, really, that consumers are continuously engaged, because they have to pay the cost of this to the distribution companies, and then that, of course, flows back to us as generating companies. So I think it's a welcome thing for all parties. But I want to also say that for consumers, that we also have to live with the fact that there may be small increases in cost of power that you consume, but over time these prices will now stabilize and actually reduce. So at the moment you may have a small increase that may at the takeoff stage, but then over time these things will stabilize, and then the market will be completely free, and then in fact you might even have choice on which power you want. It will come to that.
How much increase are we likely to see in the hike in tariff?
It's difficult for me to say because I'm not in the distribution entity, and besides that, whatever tariff issues that is required is something that the National Electricity Regulatory Commission normally clears and handles, so it's really not something we can debate on here.
Shortly before this period, Nigerians enjoyed a boost in power supply. What would you say is responsible for this boost?
Well, I did mention today that one is the improvement in gas supply. Like I said, since May, June period, there has been some stability in gas supply, and it's for all Nigerians, so that because the more people attack the power lines and so attack the gas lines and so on, it affects gas that is available for generation, and of course up to the. So we have got some improvement in that, which has been very positive. Also, the National Electricity Regulatory Commission has made some pronouncements, on discos, for example, not to reject any power. Some time ago you produce power, you send to a disco, and he rejects the power for some other reasons, which they may, but this has now been taken care of. Power as produced and given has to be taken. So again, that is improving, and we also need so many other things for us to really get to the level. And I think that we need for really having a power workshop, a workshop in which not only the generating companies, the transmission companies, the distribution companies, and also the regulatory agencies sit down in one place. It's going to be a day or two. The government can get this organized, and they will go through all the teething problems and find solutions to them, because this has to be done so that with the next phase of the growth of what is expected in power will be actualized. Sometimes you hear people, we talk of the transmission company not having enough capacity. If so, when will the capacity be available? So you have to talk about that. It's going to be things that will be done in the next 1 year or 2 years. We all know, we also plan towards that, and of course they will make the investments. If it is something we need to regionalize or privatize in a way and all that, that has to be discussed. In the same way the distribution companies will have some issues, they also have to bring that up. So I think there's need to have this power workshop where all these issues, both affecting all the entities, will be discussed and decisions taken. And that, I think, the government can organize as soon as is possible.